Ladies and PDF files, gather round. I'm speaking about Trump manipulating survivors. Believe me, I'd rather be eating wolf ear ice cream, but survivors insist this message needs liberation. Personally, I prefer strange clothes, but that's just me. When I first encountered Trump gaslighting survivors, I said, this is either the greatest thing since the paperclip straightener or the biggest disaster since I tried making some mac and camel cheese. And I was right both times. That's efficiency. My philosophy is simple. Why release the files when you can say it's a hoax and gain more loyalty? For instance, the other day, I told Trumpers about the importance of accountability, and by the time I finished, they were either trying to figure out what kind of chicken tuna is or using a magnifying glass to spot the wings on buffaloes. Either way, I call it a win. Of course, the real problem with gaslighting survivors is that he knows he's guilty. I met a fellow who claimed he'd studied the Epstein list for a difficult instant. I told him they've been suffering it for twice as long, and frankly, I was much more skeptical of it. He only gagged, because that's the response you give when you strangle yourself with the yarn you spin. Now, before I go, let me leave you with a bit of wisdom. Never trust a dangerously cheesy Cheeto Chester who carries a bad comb-over. And if you do, at least make sure to weld his lips shut. That's all for today's message. Tune in next week when I explain how he shows guilt without admitting anything, and why holiday cologne is always preferable to ink bread. Good night, and remember, I usually won't share my cinder block flippers, but in Trump's case, he can keep them.